Hello, my name's Cathy Slaght, and I'd like to give you some information today on how you can actually communicate with the very cells of your body. If you feel like following along with what I'm going to say, but then find you have more questions, I have a website right here, CathyDSlatt.com. Here's my direct phone number, and there's plenty of information as well on this site. Plus, there is a blog posted each and every day with even more information about how you can actually control so much more in your life than you may be aware. And part of this process is working with a software program. You know, we use the computer for so many things and technology for so many things. And one of the things we may leave out is that we can also work with technology for our own health and well-being. So that's what we're doing. This is the format of this technology. It's known as the Src4You. And what you're going to see as we do this work is that we're not working with the human body, we're working with the energy field known as the Etheric Blueprint. Some people may refer to it as the aura. This is actually our template for what we create. That's what this type of software is working. It's working to clear patterns of stress, and it's doing this through sending in the energy of QiGong. And this really is all about allowing the body to regulate itself and do its own healing. So if you are working with a health issue, you need to go to your own health practitioner. This is a different kind of work. And if you follow along, you'll see what I'm talking about. And you can see from our work yesterday, this is for a client group. This is subscribers who receive energy on a daily basis. And you can see, those of you in the group, that you completely cleared yesterday. We were working with the thymus. So, of course, we just enter, I'm just going to put client group. And if you follow these YouTubes, you know that one of the wonderful things about this work is it can't hurt you. And one of the ways we make sure of this, we're going to hit this button and optimize connection. And if there were any reason not to proceed, the software just would stop. So, of course, we're just going to get this started. This, like I say every time, is extremely user-friendly software. And this right here, this red button, if this would stay on, we'd know there was resistance and we wouldn't proceed. Well, you couldn't. It would not proceed. So today we're looking at this as talking to the cells of our body, which we know have a consciousness and hold memory. Sometimes that memory is not beneficial, so we want to work with that as well. But we're going to go ahead and put in as the theme the thalamus. And this is the part of the brain that may be the gatekeeper for the way we process our sensory information. And we do know that we are extremely programmed by images. This may be the key player in this, and it directs with the cerebral cortex, which they say this circuit that's formed is a key indicator of our consciousness. Our consciousness, of course, is our voltage. It's the way we create our reality. The higher the voltage, the better. So let's just hit enter. And now we're going to go down here to the show tool tabs. I'm going to go over here to the dowsing tool and just have a little communication. We can get some information. You know, many people work with a pendulum, and that's great also, but they will tell you that sometimes they get misinformation. One advantage of the computerized dowsing, it doesn't matter, for example, if my polarity is off or anything along that line, the computer is measuring. And that's what our universe is. It's a bunch of codes, a bunch of numbers that are measured. So let's start with a thalamus function. About a 20%, so we're going to enhance that. And remember, this is work with the field So it's highly proactive. And as you can see, spirit of life in thalamus. Going to enhance. And then I just thought, let's look at purity of the filter, because that's what the thalamus apparently is. It's filtering the sensory information. It's the gate, they say. And again, let's just enhance. And for those of you that follow this work, when you see a 98 and a 99, there's an area of chronic stress according to, even though this is very subtle information, it is information. Accuracy of all information relayed by thalamus. Okay. Compatibility of cells. Amp that up. Now what this is doing, it's clearing stress, it's clearing blockages, again, all on a subtle energy level, so that the body can regulate. This is just a tool. The work is being done by the body. I think you get the idea. And according to Raymond Grace, we can send some love and happiness to the different tissues in the body. So let's send love to the thalamus. Okay, looks like it can use some love. And the interesting thing is it's all packaged. We're much more than our physical body. But you might consider it our spacesuit. We've got to have it in good working order. And again, to reemphasize, this is about how we process our visual world, what we see, how we download, how we create our life based on that. Instant happiness. And for those who have this software, they can be working along this line every day. You may not focus on the same thing every day, but all of the work you do clears blockages, allows voltage to go up. Voltage is consciousness. And then I like to send, as you know, the 528 hertz, which is the miracle DNA healing frequency. And again, it's looking like when it comes to the love, both in the hertz form and the written word, there was some stress there. So we're going to work to clear that. Okay, and now let's proceed. Now I'd like to see what the core emotion is that the thalamus is holding. So we can go in here to the Show Tool tabs. Again, I just wanted you to see how we got there. Go to the Expert Options, and we're just going to go ahead and hit our little down arrow. And this is a long list, this list of emotions. And of course, we're working with a group, not an individual. But we're still going to get some information. And what happens with a group is we all take what we need from the energy that's sent. And I think this list covers pretty much any emotion that might exist. It's a long list. So now I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And we can clear it. And this Find Options button will scan any list. We're going to paste it up here, hit search. And what I'm going to do, I'll be back. I'm going to go down this list. I'm looking for anything under 1,000, and I'll come back with that information. Okay, so when we go through this list, we're looking at for the very lowest numbers, anything 1,000 or lower, but when we have a 0, that's what we're going to work with. So we have agony, displeased, grieving, remorseful, and tormented. So I'm just going to go into the SHEN today, and the SHEN is for emotional and spiritual patterns that you would like to invert. So we're going to just start. As you know, this is all subtle energy, but the cells of the body do have the ability to communicate with us and share information, and this is the information we've gotten. So we're going to clear the stress related to it. And this will go up to 20 hours, so let's go ahead and get that started. Let's go into the Gong, which is designed to invert patterns of physical or mental stress, and let that focus for a moment. Meanwhile, I did another scan. I subscribed to something called the Codes of Life, and again, everything in our universe is a number. That's why our scientists are mathematicians. And we did scan. I scanned a list of codes related to the thalamus, and we did ask for this one right here, which is related to thalamus regeneration. So what I'm going to do is see if we can get a little information as well on that. Let's clear this theme because also everything's connected. Let's see what this might be connected to. Some of it is going to be Chinese terms. Remember, this is QiGong. And that's a high resonance, so we're going to have this one and go with it. Let's just do an auto time, 6 minutes with 100 sessions, and that's fine. But we also want to go in here to the Show Tool tabs. We want to get the Gong started. Okay, a clear attraction of negativity. Then we also want to go ahead and add this list to the options box so that that also is working with us. And that's it for today. These always seem to take a little longer than I mean for them to, but you get the idea, and I really thank you for following along.